Good morning, my friends. Today is Monday, February 1st, and I learned something a few years ago about sunflowers. And I don't know if this is true about all flowers, but I learned that sunflowers are constantly facing the direction of the sun. That in the morning they start off facing the east. During the day, they continue to turn and follow the sun until evening when they are facing the west, where the sun sets. And then during the night, when the sun is not shining, they move back toward the east, anticipating that the sun will rise again the next day. And that has always intrigued me that even sunflowers know where to look for their strength, for the light in their lives that will sustain their life. I'm not trying to assign conscious thought to sunflowers, although there might be a little bit there. But I think there's something we can learn from that. That if even the flowers know where to turn to, shouldn't we? Shouldn't we always be faced toward the sun, whether we spell that S-U-N or S-O-N? Shouldn't we instinctively know that all of our strength comes from the sun? Shouldn't we spend our entire days following that source of strength, that source of comfort, that source of wisdom in our lives, that source of life that allows us to keep moving? The prophet Isaiah wrote, "All night long I search for you. In the morning I earnestly seek for God." Jesus talks a little bit about this too in some of his sayings. The most memorable one might be, "I am the vine and you are the branches. In me you shall bear good fruit. Without me you shall bear nothing." He also talks about what we can ask for from God. When he says, "Knock and the door shall be opened, seek and you shall find, ask and you will be given." I think a lot of times we hear that verse, those words of Jesus, and think, well, whatever we ask for, God is going to provide. And then our minds might turn to material things or wealth or money or good and just things. But no matter what the case is of what we are asking for, if we first don't point ourselves to God, ask God to fill us with what God knows we need, that is what we will receive from God. When God asked King Solomon, "Ask me for anything you want and I will give it to you," King Solomon thought about it, and he could have asked for riches. He could have asked for success in wars and conquering other lands and being a king in that way. But he asked God for wisdom so that he might deal rightly and justly with his people according to God's will. So let us start this week knowing where it is that we can find the entire source of our life in one place. And that is when we turn toward the sun, both S-U-N and S-O-N, for both are gifts to us from God. Will you pray with me, please? Holy and all-loving God, guide us once more in our days and in our weeks. Draw us closer to you, that we may know you as the source of all things in the universe, as the source of all life within ourselves. Give us what we ask for when it is focused upon your will on earth, helping others to become closer to you. Amen.